Hello. Jenny said, hurry up. Pignanigans. There you go. Anyway, I am here. I am here. I'm I got two things going, nothing bad. I've got a really, really rainy day happening out there. So sometimes my internet can get a little unstable. So if my internet decides to go to shit today, I'll just wander off. It almost never actually cuts out. It's very rare. It's very rare for me to. We used to lose internet every time the weather got like this. We would lose it for a little bit. It hasn't happened like that for a long time, but it's still not a surprise. Anyway, I'm working on. I decided to pull these out today, and we discovered that I have a problem, and that is that there's a sizing issue. There's a sizing issue on these. So that's kind of what I'm working. I'm kind of doing some thinking out loud on this right now. And I don't know what, if anything, I'm going to end up getting done. I've only got one, oh, I've got two of these. What? I've got four of these. I've only got four of these. So those are going to go set aside. I'm going to put them over here because I can't. I've only got four of those, and I've got one really nice forward-facing fox mixed in here somewhere too. I've got this one, the bear, and there's a little hummingbird up in the corner. I've got that one. So that one, anyway. I realized I need to get some work done on these because the more I handle them, the more frayed they're getting. You know, see it, right? See the fraying? It's like I gotta make a decision, because once I make a decision, I can stop manhandling this stuff. Anyway, hi everybody. How are you doing? How is everybody? It's Friday. Oh, that was the second thing. Today's like a bit of an allergy day for me. So I am fine. I am wonderful. Everything's great. But you guys know the drill. Whenever I'm doing an allergy day, if I'm up and down to blow my nose a lot, that's just the status quo. So these are really cute. But what we found out, I suppose I can confirm on this ruler. So this is 5 by 5, 6 by 6. This is 6 by 6, right? This is 4 3/4 by 5 1/4. They're not none of they're all different sizes. So yeah, I got these ones. So I've got 1, 2, 3. I'm not even counting these. So what the late I got these. Somebody was getting rid of their stash. Yeah. Oh yikes! Somebody was getting rid of their stash. I already told you guys a story. I'll probably tell it again because we know what I'm like. But so this was an absolute bonus in the stash. And I noticed then that what she'd clearly done was laid out all the fabric, cut out what she liked, and turned that into a quilt, and then set aside the rest. So I'm like, yay, this is awesome. This is great. Look at this, right? These are not, look at that. These are not the same size. I matched it up on that side. I got an extra like 1/4 inch. So I've got to, okay. It's not the end of my day. What I'm going to do today, I've got my ugly quilt, right? I've got my ugly quilt, and I'm also in love with quilted. Yeah, there's one. Oh, these are a little bit, yeah. Is this, these are almost, oh no, these are a little wider, I guess. Yeah, okay, this guy's got part of his shoulder taken off. So these match that. These have been cut too short. Hi, Erin, how you doing? I am sorting through some fabric I got as part of a stash. I can flip this for you guys to get a better look. So I got somebody else was decluttering, and I actually bought the declutter because of all the backing that she had. You guys remember that? I showed you guys all of this. She was getting rid of it. I said, "Oh my God, that's a lot of backing, and that's a good price for backing." Anyway, these I thought I was going to be able to just go and start sewing them up. Turns out I've got like 4 different sizes here, 4 or 5 different sizes. So now I've got to measure everything. That one goes there. And I've already been poking through more than once, poking through to go, oh, maybe this, oh, maybe that. And it's like, then I poked through this like 4 or 5 times. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm thinking, right? Like I can trim some of these down to make them fit, but other ones are going to look like hell if I trim them down. So I have to make decisions. That's all. These are those ones. Anyway, it's not okay. Okay. This was a $40 D-stash. This right here, even when it's not sized properly, is worth $40 all by itself. But I got enough backing. I was interested in the backing because I've got some bigger quilts and I want to do the entire quilt and not do quilt as you go, which means you need a giant piece of fabric. I did not get ripped off. I am still majorly ahead on this whole thing. So I have to figure out. So I've got, look, even just these two. That one's 6 inches wide. This one is 5 inches wide. Then I've got these little guys. Where are they? They are, where's the full size one? There they are. These are all together as 4. So they are 5¼ inches wide by 3. Well, they're 6 inches total together. They're still too narrow. And these were sectioned up. And it's interesting because what this is from is somebody did an entire panel. You buy these as sets, right? So within the set, within the set, you're getting all these different sizes puzzle pieced together. So that's 6, 4.5, 4, and well, about 4.5 because you can work with the white. So, but then this one over here, look, it's not even lined up. Well, it's not quite on camera here. It's not even fully lined up. You have to go over and up to get it out. So, and this one's 5 by, this one's about 5¼ by 5¼ 6 by, yeah, they're all different sizes. They puzzle piece them together in a big chunk. And then the lady who made the fox quilt out of them basically just cut out the ones that she wanted, left everything else behind. But yeah, there's another bear. See, those two are together. See, these ones, she just left these all together because they weren't in the area where she wanted, but it's like straight and then out and then back in and then out. So now I have to, I mean, I think it's fun. I think it's going to be fun for me. I still haven't found that other fox piece. I wonder if I already was smart enough. Whoa, there it is. There it is. This is the only piece that I have of this because that's what she used that and the dragonflies. I mean, and the hummingbirds. She used that and hummingbirds in her quilt. So I have 1 of these and 4 of the hummingbirds, and that's all I've got of those. They have to go live someplace else. Anyway, so now I'm just trying to sort out. Yeah, I'm going to crop and make more consistent sizes. What I can also do, there's things I can do. So one thing that I can do is put borders of some kind around the smaller ones and bring them all up to the same size and then mix them together. And that's what I think I'm going to work on today. Because look at that. Look at little Bambi and Thumper. Hey, how many of these ones do I have? Oh, no, I have a bunch. I have 1 there. I have 1 there. I think I might not have very many of these ones. Let me just double check. Yeah, see, these are all the same ones repeated. It's bears, 2 deer, bears, 2 deer. I can set this one aside. Because I've got so much that's already been cut. I should be able to. Mountain Sunrise by Abraham Hunter. Just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Mountain Sunrise. Basically, it's best to do these kind of if you're searching for fabric or anything, fabric. If it might help if you could spell. By, did I say Adrian Hunter? Oh, it's Three Wishes fabric anyway. I know the brand. Come on, get back out here. Abraham Hunter. Hunter, Huner. Here we go. There it is. Of course. There we go. Oh. Yeah, this is put together weird. It's put together really weird. None of it matches up. Let me see if I can find it. Come on. Seriously. That's all you're going to show me. Are you guys hearing this? Shut up. Okay, Google, stop. Something has turned itself on over there, and I have to go figure it out. My wife had an audiobook queued up, but her iPad is only in sleep mode. Okay, this is, come on. Seriously, come on, come on. Okay. One, two, this is, okay, I found it, but it's not going to do me a damn bit of good. Let's see if I can share this. Yeah. No. It's a smart idea. Sorry. I don't know what I did, or I think I told GOOGLE to turn on. I think it misheard me, and suddenly it was just playing an audiobook, and it's like, Jesus. Okay, let me see if I can get into this. I don't think there's any way around this for me, though. Okay, come on. Where is it? Share screen. There we go. There it is. So that's showing. So basically, they would have there's like there's one set. They would have cut the entire panel lengthwise. And then there's one set on the top, one set on the bottom. But what they've taken out, what they've removed, is the fox and the hummingbird all the way down. Oh, I don't think I have it up on screen yet. Sorry, guys. Let me just get this. Sorry, there you go. So what I've got here, there's one set on the top. Then there's another set where it repeats on the bottom, but there's none of it is the same. Everything's different size. Hey, Stardust, how you doing? So nothing is quite the right size. So there is another option, though. There is another option that will work beautifully. I'll do that. I'll show you in a second, which I might do for one and see how I'm going to have to give some of this up for experimenting, which is absolutely fine. I don't think a full-size blanket is going to be in the works for this. I think that's I think that's all that's happening. Yeah, no, it kind of makes a straight edge, but when you take out the fox and the hummingbird, so the second one in on, you see that rectangle at the top, take out the fox and the hummingbird, and suddenly none of it's going to match properly without me trimming something out. And here's the other part of the problem. The bear, which I really like, where am I? let me just get rid of this one now. Oh, don't move that one. Take that one out. God, I'm slow. Okay, the bear's face is over here, but there's a hummingbird over here. So for me to trim this one, I'm going to either have to cut off part of his face, or I'm going to have to cut out, I can cut out the hummingbird and that'll be fine. Oh, there, I can, okay. There's tons of stuff I can still do with this. Just putting it together as an entire blanket isn't necessarily going to work the way I want. But this is one thing I can do. I was looking at this last night. Come on. Like, okay, these are easy. This is definitely a first world problem in action. Like I said, I definitely got the best of the deal just by getting the backing fabric. I did not buy this stash in order to get this. I bought the stash in order to get the backing fabric. So this is just bonus for me. So I could, I'm just trying to get through to some that are in single pieces. So I could go bear, then deer, because I think it's the smaller one, right? And then I could go that, and then I should, you know what? I was kind of fiddling with this before I even turned the camera on, and I could have had this sorted better. But I could go that, then that, then that, then cut that. I could make a panel like that. And I could get ever so slightly over here. So I can mix and match this in different configurations, but what I was actually thinking about doing, that's what I was thinking about doing, was taking like that, taking like that, and it's like 2 inches too short, right? But if I had like a 1 inch all the way around, if I put like 2 inches around this, 1 inch around that, and then trim them to the same size, I can do that too. So I don't know. I don't know that they have to be like that. Plus, I could probably I could probably faffle them. I could probably faffle them together pretty easily. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that goes right there. But I just have to agree. I have to decide to have a little bit of white on the bottom. That'll work. Yeah. So I can make it work. I just can't make it work the way I wanted to. But I still have this here. If I do quilt as you go, I'm going to lose part of that ear unless I am very careful. I guess we can live without a little bit of the ear as long as we keep the hummingbird. I can do that. But one thing I'm thinking of, like I said, this is going to be too tedious and too fiddly to make a full-size blanket out of like I was hoping. And I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm thinking, oh, this, I could just cut like this. Wait a second. Yeah, see, I'm thinking that when it comes to the width, I could just go like that and then make a strip. I'm off to the side here. I could do that. Okay, let's do one of those. Let's do one of those right now and see what we think. Let's see. This is why I'm saying I got to figure out. I got to have a thinking day where this is concerned. Oh, look at that. It's almost the same width. That's a little narrow, but that'll work. Okay, I'm doing this one. This one's been trimmed a little tight down this side, so I do think I have to cut a fresh one. Now that was trimmed a little tight. Put that up there for now. This is where it gets messy. This is, okay, I just realized though, that's got a baby, that's got a baby, that's got a baby. So if I just go straight up and down, actually, Actually, okay, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's get a ruler out. I will say, I'm just gonna cut her out. I pulled my table a little closer today. It's like, look at this. It's like right in my back here. I pulled the table a little closer so that I can, okay. I'm cutting a fresh one because the ones that were already cut, she's cut right to the line. And I want to have that little bit of wiggle room. Okay. If I put the deer, do we like light, medium, dark, or do we want to go with the dark in the, whoops, with the dark in the middle? Or do we want to cut this and have small, big, small? Do I go small, big, small, light, medium, dark? What do I do? I need a vote. I'm going to go. I've got the fabric. Dark in the middle? Okay, dark in the middle is easiest because then I just go like that. I just make sure that they're all lined up in the same direction. I go like that. They're not very well ironed, which is a me thing, which is fine. Okay. I'm also going to, I'm not taking more off, but I'm going to guesstimate and then get a straight line going here. And that straight line will also take off all this fraying. This is where these pieces are small enough that it kind of becomes important to be a lot more careful than I get away with not being very careful. We know that. We know me. So I get away with not being careful on the regular. So I'm still not going to pin because it's a small enough piece, but I definitely have to be a lot more careful about how I'm sewing this together. Okay. Okay, that's easy enough. It's okay if it's a little off, which was fine. I knew it was going to do that. It's okay if it's a little off because this one here is kind of wobbly too. And I just got to go down the set. I got to go iron it though. I'm going to have to iron them as I go because they're so small. Got to make sure you're doing them right when they're this small. I'm going to turn the iron on. It makes me sad. Come on. Okay. I'm coming back. I should have thought ahead because I'm going to. Yeah. See, I can do stuff like that, right? So I could have been a little bit more perfect and gotten that, but this is, I'm not going to trim these off because I'm going to be sewing down. Now, I brought along, these are fine. Now I've got some white. I very rarely have white. This, and where's the other one? That. I thought I had one more piece. And some light gray are the lightest colors I have right now. And I'm kind of wondering if I should go, I can cut this down a little smaller. I'm kind of wondering if I should go around it in a layer of white. Then, okay, because I do quilt as you go, right? So with quilt as you go, we're going to do my little process. Oh, that is sometimes with the when the light is on stuff correctly, it's hard to tell which one is the front or the back. So basically, quilt as you go. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to have about an inch left, and then I'm going to be going like this, which is fine. I'm going to be covering it a bunch of it up. But if I put a border in first, it won't be as, so I can finish this and do one of my ugly quilt blocks right now, or I can go around it with some stuff. And I think, but I can go around it with some white to really make it pop. But I'm not sure. Let's go for it. This might be just a black. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because I'm like this, and I'm like I can't tell. Then I had to go like that and get it away from the light. Then I could tell barely. I don't work with a lot of whites, so because it's not the white is one of the colors that just has never done well for the shop. Oh yeah, go order your tickets. I'm just gonna do how wide is this? This is a little over 3 inches. I think I can make. Oh, I cannot make it fit. This is not enough. I just realized what I did was I just kind of eyeballed it, and it's like, well, if I go from here to here, then I have enough left to go here. Except for I don't, because I have to add like 1.5 inches and then go, and it's not going to be. I do not have enough to go all the way around in a light color. In a light color, I can't even say light color. You're running out of breath. It's like a light color. I can use this one, and I think it might look good. I don't know. I think it'll look good. Do we think it'll look good? Do we care? I don't care. Or I can just, this might actually be better. I can go around it in a black. Will black make the center pop, or will another color make the center pop? That is the question. That is the question of the day. Maybe that's something I need to think about doing. I probably need to think about buying myself a small, like 2 or 3/4 yards, or maybe even just fat quarter. Well, quarter yard and a fat quarter are the same amount. Maybe I need a small selection of various whites, just because to have them on hand, because I never use them. I think I'm going to go around with this because I'm going to be lazy. Yeah, I prefer using black. I'll tell you right now, you get using the whites, and you can see, I don't know, it's just everything shows. I think I'm just going to go around in black, for laziness purposes for the most part. I guess I got to mark this because I shouldn't be eyeballing it, because these are, yeah, it's not straight. It's not going to be straight. That's the problem. Because look, even on this, let me just get right up close. Even on this, the little foxes at the very top are a little tiny bit wider. They're the tiniest bit wider than the bears underneath. I don't know if you can see it. If you look at the bottom corner of the foxes and the top corner of the little bears, you can see that none of this was designed so that you cut out the entire segment and use it like that, not like this. I'm going to sacrifice a little fabric and just get this squared up a little bit, because I don't think I'm going to be able to, I don't need it to be perfect, but I want it to look as reasonably good as I can make it. That's not bad. Yeah, see, I'm cutting off more. I can come out a tiny bit here and still keep it straight. It's really hard to see where the straight line actually is, to be honest. This is why I'm not good. Yeah, absolutely. I will absolutely I will drive myself nuts trying to avoid it. Yeah, so I can do this. I can be a little faffo now that this is straight, but if this was all fucked up, then this would be like all out of sorts. Come on, get up there. Yeah, I have a knee lift that I operate with my hand. No, I haven't got my chair moved over. I have to set my chair up in just the right way so that I can swing back and forth. My machine's usually just a little bit closer. If you want to use your knee lift while also using your table, you got to make sure that when you swing back, you don't throw your shit on the floor, and that you're actually swinging back enough for your knee lift to be engaged, for your leg to actually reach the knee lift. It's going to start over here now that I'm fucking things around. So how's everybody else? How is everybody doing? Like I said, this is very much a first world problem with fabric, with bonus fabric. So I didn't spend money. I spent money to get the what's going on there? I cut it to the right size. Okay. I spent money to get the backing fabric. So this is 100% a bonus for me. So okay, what's going on there? I'm going to make sure that's up just a little bit. There we go. This has, where is it? Where it is? Where is it? I got to get my needle over a little. I don't need to. I want my needle over a little tiny bit more. I always have to look. 0.7. I want to get that scant 1/4 inch thing going, but you can scant 1/4 inch is when you're being incredibly careful to get as close to get as close to the edge as you can while staying just barely at the 1/4 inch. But this is 9 millimeters instead of 7, so I can't really. It doesn't. This machine doesn't do the scant 1/4 inch very well unless you adjust the needle to the side a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I woke up yesterday, day before, sore throat. That wasn't fun. Well, okay, it went away. I had a sore throat. It went away almost immediately. Only lasted for like a day, so whatever I had going on. Kind of allergy symptoms ever since, though, so it was probably an allergy thing trying to happen. Okay. Should I iron or should I take? I think now that I've got a nice square to work with, I think I can take my chances. Yes, I'm a horrible person who hates to iron. Great week. Nice, nice. So the new job is working well. That's what matters. I have the tiniest bit of white from some fraying that got in there. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I had a pretty good week. Super low key. Like I said, I had a sore throat, which was annoying, but it never got past annoying, which is the part that matters, right? Come on, open up. I want this opened up. I should have ironed it. I'm lazy. I know it. Yeah, I almost never do the scant 1/4 inch. I'm always convinced that if I don't give it like a solid, like closer to 3/8, I'm always convinced that if I don't make it a little thicker, that I'm going to have issues with frame. I mean, with not right frame with the thread pulling out. But that's what top stitching is for. And I am going to top stitch this. I haven't decided on what I'm doing with it yet. That reminds me though, I still have the where'd they go? I should probably do those while I'm thinking of it. I've got, oh my God, where did they go? Ah! I turned my back for 1 minute and all this shit disappeared. There's my, oh, you guys can't see it. I'm glad you took the chance too. I'm glad it worked out. When I ironed this, it was folded, right? Because that's how fabric comes. So I just ironed it and I didn't worry about that crease. This is from, this is some, this was I cut this off of a piece of scrap fabric. So losing this little tiny bit so that I can avoid the crease isn't hurting my, I can actually save that for something else though. Isn't really hurting my feelings. I think I just fucked up. Okay, that's going to go to there, and that is barely going to fit. Let's see. Let's see how that goes. Okay, I already know. Oh, yeah, I've been sleeping fine ever since that one thing. It's like my body just went, fuck you. Okay, we're done now. I've been sleeping great ever since. Been sleeping. I had that one night, and I just slept great after that. Like, great for me. Like, I'm in bed by 1:30, something like that, but sleeping a full night. I already know that I'm going to square this up by trimming some of this back in. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I should have left that little tiny tab of fabric on. I should have left that little bit of fabric on, but I didn't want to deal with the crease. It's like, oh, I don't need that. If that crease is annoying me, I can just cut that off. So I'm going to come back about that far because I know I'm cutting off. I'm probably going to cut this back. Okay, I am going to cut this back. So I'm just going to cheat now because I'm going to need that extra little tiny bit at the very end to make sure I can go all the way across top on that stuff. I knew I can cheat on that end too. So do the same thing. Come on. If you already know you're going to be, let me just move the camera every 4 seconds. If you already know that you're going to be resizing something and you're not 100% sure where your fabric is going to end up, then yeah, make a micro adjustment now. Like, yeah, I'm cutting that extra little bit off anyway. So like, now I don't get to change my mind. If I go, oh, I actually wanted to leave that, well, too bad, you screwed up. But la, 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 la. Yeah, because now, yeah, oh yeah, see, now it'll go when I have a little bit extra. So now I got my wiggle room back. La, la, la. Press that open. I want that to be open. So if I press it open now, just finger press it a little bit, then I know I'm fine for later. Hey, honey, how you doing? I am working on, I'm having fun agonizing over how I'm going to make these mismatched sizes, find various ways to match. I was showing this to Lisa last night. I think so. I'm going to try. Yeah, see, now this isn't quite big enough again. This isn't quite big enough again, which I've already accounted for because of the way I've already decided I'm going to trim everything. So I'm just going to bring this in by about that much. Put it on anyway. And I'll have to trim it right away before I move on to whatever the next step wants to be. Okay, and then I have to scroll up. Oh, my dog needs a needle. Well, okay, wait. Can you, do you have to take her in for a shot or can you just stop and pick it up? We give Bruno insulin twice a day. So, and Sheila gets a shot once a month. But for Sheila's shot, they said that if we want, they will just dispense the medication and then we can just give it to her. Maybe check and see if you could just pick it up on the way through. That might save a lot of time for both of us all the way around. If not, I can get my ass off the internet and come with you. Come on, turn on. I'll be right back. There we go. I warned everybody already. I warned everybody. My thing's over there. I had to wait for the iron to hook up. I warned everybody that it's allergy day for me, so. Okay. It's not bad. Okay. That is not bad. That is fun. That is not bad. If I pair just one or two here, and if I pair them, like I can just sew those together. I can just put a border on them and just be done with that. I don't have to put a border on everything. But I think it'd be nicer if I do. Now I'm gonna cut this back to how much actual space did I give myself? I can go to 1.5 inches all the way around. That's perfect. Why is that perfect? I'll show. I have a thought. I'm going to go to 1.5 all the way around. This is a thing. Isn't the internet lovely? Like, I mean, I can just go online, hang out with you guys, be my usual shit show of an afternoon. The wife can check in. It's like, yeah, I need to check in. Okay. What's going on? Yeah, that's 1.5. There we go. That's 1.5. Perfect. No, that's not 1.5. Why am I'm smacking my ruler for some reason and not quite. There we go. I do think I think I should have used one of my bigger rulers for this because I think this kind of ain't shifted. Because it's fabric. Fabric is stretchy, so every now and again a piece of fabric will be straight, but then it will stretch a little bit. It's my own damn fault. I'm not sure what I'm aiming for yet from this because by weight, so I don't know how Linda might know what I mean. By weight, when you pick up a pile of fabric, you kind of go, oh, I can make this much of a thing out of it. By weight, I can definitely turn it into a throw. I know I can definitely turn it into a throw. I can also turn it into a proper blanket. I think I'm not 100% what I'm going to do with it yet. This is just going to go into the ugly quilt. I'm gonna put this one in the ugly quilt and we'll go from there. But this is just I have a couple of other things I'm gonna mess around with that I want to try today. So I'm not done playing with these panels just yet. But I have a thought. I have a thought that I'm going to do next. This just occurred to me as, like I said, this is the let's agonize over this. So now I have Now I have something easy and simple that I can do if no other ideas work out. Does that make sense? If no other workable ideas find their way to the surface, yeah, this is fine. I thought it was a little off, but it's not off in any way that's going to matter. Aha. I was kind of thinking about doing quilt as you go and then having that be the background piece. What do you guys think? Because I think everything's got this shade of orange in it. So if I put it on this, I have a bit, oh, come on. I was positive I'd set aside a big enough piece just like a few minutes ago. That's not big enough. I will go cut. I've got bags and bags and bags of batting. But I thought this might make, yeah, it's super bright. Okay, so it's super bright. The black is a barrier. This is bright. That's bright, but the black is a barrier that keeps this from drowning out that. But everything in here, this isn't quite, it's got the tiniest bit that matches. This has got the flowers, some of the flowers and background match. And then the fox, of course, just matches. So yeah, I'm thinking about using that for the background because I've got, this one is not nearly, this is similar colors, but it's not nearly as bright. And the camera's not picking it up very well. That's, yeah, like it's still bright, but it's not as in your face as, this is the in your face bright. Yeah, black like the bears, orange like the foxes and deers. And everything's got, okay, you got the black bears, but everything, the eyes are all black, and then you're gonna have the orange. But I think I'm gonna go for my eye bleedy one. I gotta get this used up anyway. So I'm gonna finish this one. Let me see. What's my sizing looking like? Perfect. I am trying. I'm like, I'm not gonna do a whole lot of ironing today. So hold my beer while I grab everything that needs ironing today. This is leftover from this is leftover from all kinds of stuff. So if I don't find small ways to use that up, it's eventually going to end up in a stash pile and be looking for a new home. So I'm going to go iron this, and then I have to dig up some batting. Ooh, the iron was still on! Yay! I don't know what I'm gonna do. There it is. Ah. Okay, we're gonna use this. This size is a wall hanging? I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not sure. I can put a bunch of this together. Or am I misunderstanding you completely? I'm probably misunderstanding you completely, Linda. You know me. Okay, this is a really high loft batting, but this, I don't know if I can show it right. I don't know if I can show it properly or not. This batting is twice as thick as, yeah, it's not, I can't, I'm not going to get a good angle. This batting here is twice as thick as this stuff. So this is going to be, because I wanted to get some of this stuff used up too. And it's like, oh, I can use my really high loft batting. I can use my really high loft batting. And then I got to make sure I have to separate these as I go, because when I'm in FAFO mode and I just go, bam, whip, I can lose track of the batting, because if you're not really paying attention, you don't necessarily notice it right away. Now, I am going to, I've got a line there. This type of batting does not need the sewing down. That's true. This would fit anywhere. This would be a nice little wall. Maybe that's what I should do with it. Make it a wall hanging. Nah, it's going to be in my blanket. Yeah, I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to go all the way around, and then I'm going to go here and here to separate everything, and it should be nice and poofy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look around for my ruler. This one, the one that's right there. And there's my pins. Okay. Put a pin here. I don't need to put a pin there yet. What am I thinking? I don't think anything's going to move around that much, just because this type of batting gets really sticky and just holds shit in place. Doesn't let anything. So you're just going to bring it home? Does that work? Does that work for you, hon? Yeah, actually, that should work, because if you told them, well, I'm going to be by blah blah blah, they can have it ready, and you just pick it up from reception. We have a new vet. They're a lot closer. We really like them. We really do. We like them. There's a but though, and it's just a inconvenience thing. But if you go to a vet's office around 5 o'clock, that's when all of the dogs that have been in for procedures that day are just getting picked up. So even though it can be a very long wait, even when you have an appointment, to get basic stuff done at that time of day. And so we did the thing, and we said, look, we're already giving Bruno, we already know how to give a shot. We're giving Bruno 2 shots a day for the last 7 years. Giving her a shot is not the problem. It's just getting her, because she only gets it once a month. So giving her the shot's not the problem. The problem is that you guys are really, it's a really busy time of day that we're trying to get her in. So we've had a couple of times we've been in there over an hour. Cause there's no hard feelings here. These guys are great. The reason why they're super busy is because they're great, but they're trying to get sedated, partially sedated dogs that have just had procedures, get them checked out, get the owners, here's their pain medication. Here's what you can and can't feed them for the next couple of days. Here's the cone of shame, right? So they're trying to get all that shit done while we're like, we need to do something really quick, but yeah, so the time of day that works best for us to get in for her shot is the time of day where, yeah, I was thinking about doing a freehand around this, but I don't think I want to try too hard just yet. But if I separate each one of these by some stitching, then if I separate each one of these with some stitching, especially on this extremely high loft fabric, I think it'll look really nice. So I'm just, oh, you know what? I like to start partway up and down the left or the right side. And if there's something that's facing a particular direction, okay, the foxes are facing this way. The bears are facing this way. So if I start my first part of the stitch right here behind the bears, right here behind the bears, then you're less likely to notice the stitching. The part where you're doing your back stitches and stuff like that. So yeah, so you just bring it home. I'll needle her up. I'll do this. Well, either one of us can give her the stabbies at that point. Okay, now I need to go back to center. A couple of back stitches. a glove because my hand is already slipping. Yay! Yeah, you guys just hang out while Lisa and I chat about vet care. No, these guys are really good. We really like it. We really like them. We really like them. We had to stop going to our old vet because Shayla never was a huge fan of being in the car, and our old vet was about a 30-minute drive in, okay, 30-minute drive in good traffic, but if we hit rush hour wrong, it could be like a 45-minute drive or more. She was starting to get car sick again. Um, just not feeling well, not liking it. So it's like, because we really liked our old vet, Dr. Shamshir. Um, we really liked it. We really liked them. Those guys were great. And they still are, of course, but when one of your dogs suddenly can't handle being in the car for more than 5 minutes, you kind of have to rethink how far you're willing to drive to take them in for a basic appointment. And with her getting the shots, it's once a month. So it's like, oh, here's your once monthly car sickness. So yeah, but these guys are only 5 minutes away, and there's a little park. There's a little park right around the corner. So when the weather's nice, we can take them up. We can do the thing. We can take them for a little walk so she can feel she's not in the car long enough to start feeling sick, and we can take her for a little walk in the park to make her feel rewarded. So she doesn't mind it at all. But yeah, the 5 o'clock is when they're super busy. Like I said, everybody they're really good. They've been super nice, super easy to work with. There's that. Anyway, right now, actually, that's probably works out for the best. It's been pissing down rain all day. I am so not happy with it. I think that's what the allergy I think that's why I'm having an allergy day, because the weather just never settles in around here. We had winter where things got a little cold for like a couple of days. We've had an extremely mild winter this year, which I don't mind. I like looking at snow, but I hate being in it. So let's trim that. Check the one on the back. Oh, that's good too, because I'm using a gray thread because it kind of matches everything. I'm using a gray thread today, a light gray. White shows up really, really well, which means that if you kind of want it to be not so bright, you want a different color. But yeah, I'm using a gray thread today, and I'm gonna start taking these out. I'm using a gray thread today, and I'll show you the back in a second. Oh, good. I forgot. I don't know how I managed to forget that half of you guys have been living in like freaking ice storm conditions for like a week now. I'm a horrible person. I'm going to talk about how my nose is running and totally forget about the fact that you guys have like been dealing with ice storms of epic proportions. How bad did it get? I mean, there was people that are like, I don't believe it's going to get bad at all, and then other people are preparing for the snowpocalypse. So aside from the snow, did anybody get the ice storm portion of life? I haven't heard from. It's like that thing. It's like, well, I haven't heard from anybody saying they lost power, but we won't hear from those people until they get their power back. So everywhere where I put down stitching has been done. This one here, I didn't have to put any stitching in, but I definitely want that effect because this is kind of looking pillow. I don't know if you can see on the camera. It's looking kind of pillowy now. Yeah, ice is the part that makes it not fun. I haven't heard too much. I haven't heard too much yet, and I hope we don't hear anything at all. I got so lucky and didn't go over the edge onto the black at all until just now. I think it's only one stitch and I'm gonna pick it out. Come on, get out. There we go. Just going to put the tiniest little stitch. I'm just going to start a couple of stitches ahead, back stitch, couple, then just tack that corner back down. It's nice. It's nice when it's nice when the thing you're doing is just for appearances versus needing it done. Because this particular one doesn't have a thing to stitch down. Yeah, check it out. I don't know, but I find it's really hard to match things up with gray. I mean with orange. And I found out quite by accident. We got ice for one day, but with the snow and melt, then it gets hard. It took me 3 days to get my car out because my back tires were in it. Yeah. Honestly, that's what you have to plan for. It's like plan for not going anywhere. I don't know. I don't know if the colors are going to show up. Yeah, you can just kind of see. Yeah, there's some gray. There's some gray sticking up right there. You can kind of see something about the gray because black is obviously really black. But for something about this particular shade of gray, it just seems to have enough of a blending effect that it doesn't shine past. It doesn't shine past the existing. Yeah, see, that's gray. I just used a light gray. And white would have been like definitively white, and any other color would have like shown up. So I'm happy with that. Okay. I don't know if you can see how pushed up this is. I am probably gonna have to pin this or clip it as I go to make sure that things stay. You go over there. That's getting in my way. You go over there. I know I was a little lazy. I can still save that piece for some. Oh, I know what I'm saving that piece for. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna talk to myself now. Yeah, ice can be an absolute nightmare to deal with. It's not fun. I'm just glad you didn't I know. Well, here's the thing. See how puffed up this is? This is like really puffy. This is twice as thick as the regular stuff, so it's puffing all on its own, and I might not have it's probably going to be a bit of a problem child when it comes to holding it in place while I do my stitching. So I think I'm going to end up, at the very least, I'm going to end up clipping this. I think I'll try clipping. I think clipping should be fine. But yeah, I want to use up at least some of this because I'm mix and matching everything. Because then it's going to be like a texture slash. It's like, do I take the gloves off? Do I leave them on? Yeah, I could. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clip. I'm gonna have to clip the whole thing. Okay, I don't have to, but this way I know nothing's gonna pull back. I don't have to go crazy. I don't have to clip I don't have to clip every inch or anything like that. But like, see, I don't know if you can see this. See, I'm pushing this forward, and this is just pushing right back with it. I gotta get it in there, hold it down, pin it up, and then make sure nothing moves. I'm not doing a big enough piece that I guess I have to care. I like the underside of the eye bleedy one. Yeah. Yeah, it's just that without pinning, this bigger, puffier piece is kind of pushing itself out of there. La la la. I'm just using gray. That's good. Yeah, I don't want it to move. I do not want it to move. Yeah, you can see how it's pillowing. You can kind of see the pillowing effect right now. I mean, I'm still going to have to adjust it as I go, but yeah, this one's pushing itself out. Okay, that's good to know though, because I knew I wanted at least a few patches to have this thicker batting, but I didn't know how that was going to go. Look at that. Yeah. And that's not going to be, it's not going to be, I cannot imagine an entire blanket backed in that. Ooh, that would be like hard. It'd be hard to look at. But this is just going to be one or, I mean, I'm probably going to have 2 or 3 patches. My plan is to do what I did when I was making ugly blankets for the kids. When I was making ugly blankets for the kids, by the time I was done, the leftovers would be the starting point for the next ugly blanket. So, come on. Yeah, it's making sure that that doesn't push itself out. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. It's just I don't get to be lazy. That's all. Nice thing is it's a small enough project that I don't have to take it down. And if I was doing a bigger piece, I'd be like taking it back and forth to the table to make sure that the whole thing was done properly. Go a couple of stitches ahead, so I back up first into the corner. That's like that. That shifted. No, it didn't. Okay. Yeah. I had the was goodness. I had the was goodness, and I was gonna do a little bit of that today, but I definitely want a little bit more time to start working on um, pattern type stuff as well. I wanted because I want to play around with doing some like half square triangles and then putting them into whatever and seeing how that works. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't have to have an ugly. I don't have to have an ugly blanket with a ton of those. With a ton of all that stuff. I've already sewn into the corner, and that was dumb. That's okay. Okay. I already sewed. Well, I'm supposed to sew into the corner, but I already turned the corner. Got that down, and I shouldn't have. Okay. I should have sewed all the way off to the end and then started a new line to get around the corner just so that I could have a better opportunity to tuck all this down. Because if I'm not pinning, I don't need to stop for this part. I'm going to get a little closer. Get that over there. No, I'm definitely looking forward to arranging some because I've got enough. I've got enough to make a bunch now. I'm also thinking, do I put a bunch together and then just spend a day working on the hole filling pieces, or do I fill the holes as I go? I think I think I'm gonna have to do a bit of both because if I fill the holes as I go, then it's done. But if I try to fill too many holes afterwards, I'll just lose interest. There we go. This is not impossible. It's just a little bit more tedious, like I said, because I have to double check everything and make sure that that extra puffy stuff is pushed in properly and won't come back out. It always pushes in properly and doesn't come back out, but when it's this thick. Okay, stop there. Already, this is the narrow one, and I've already fucked that up, so let's just keep going. Okay. There we go. Get in there, get in there. There we go. Okay. Oh, la la la. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just got to boss it around a little bit. It's just that it's so thick. That's not a problem. It's a feature. It's also intentional. I did it on purpose, right? I've been using the thinner stuff. I want to make sure I have a few heavier, thicker panels, pieces. I guess they're panels now. I want to try something else with this. I want to try something else. I want to try something else and see what I think of it. And I'm not sure what I'm going to think of it. All the way to the corner. Back stitch. There we go. Cut the thread. Got to do that. Got to remember to cut your thread. Okay. So that, and I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see that it's pretty pillowy looking compared to the other ones that I did. The other ones are still puffy. The other, do I have one right on top that's got that? Yes, I do. See, this one's still puffy. This one's still puffy, and it's one of the lighter ones. It's still puffy, but this is just more obvious, more distinctly puffy. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that I feel the difference, to be honest. If I didn't know, I don't think, if nobody told me, I'm not sure that I'd know. But this one does look, each little square looks more like a puff. You know, it would have been really cool. I know it would have been really cool. You know, what would have been really cool. Something I'm going to do right. I'm going to do it right now. Let's do something really cool. Let's do something cool. La la la. Eye bleedy goodness. Here's some more eye bleedy goodness. What's that? That's eye bleedy goodness. Okay. Let us do this. Let us do this. Let's go that one. That one. That one looks good. That one's fine. Do these two look good together or not? Do they look good together or not? Tell me they look good together. Tell me. Does that look good? If it had a little bit of eye bleedy goodness like that. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's the same one. I need a different one. Okay, I need that one. Yeah, see, I can see this here. See how that goes zoop? It's got a curve in it. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe get the camera. Yeah, see, you can see that it kind of has a curve. So I need to maybe check. That's just what happens to fabric sometimes. Does this one do it? This one still does it, but it's not as bad. Okay, we're going to take this one. We're going to square it off. Is this still big enough? That's still big enough. It works from, you're a pastel girly girl. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Right. Right. We're going to do that. Okay. We're going to do that. But I got to mark it from the back because I've got to make sure that I'm actually working with straight lines here. So I'm going to have to, I don't know that it's actually in my, ooh, orange stripy fur. That's true. I don't know that it's worth it to try too hard to straighten that out because I can FAFO. This is a lot of this is mostly scrap. We're going to do that. I'm going to throw my pen on the floor. Now, I have to think ahead. Okay. I think okay. I think I need to. I need to square this up, and I need a fatter ruler to do it with. Okay, I can do it. There's a bunch of ways to do it, but I'm just trying to. My problem is that if I like it enough to figure it out, then I might like it enough to do multiple of it. And if that's the case, then I got to make sure. I'm just going to cut it. No, I'm just going to mark. No, I'm going to mark it. Okay. Again, because I've got, these are not straight, and that's fine. Neither am I. So that works. They are going to be 4.5, a little under 4.5. Today's Friday. Do we know today's Friday? Do we care if today's Friday? Okay. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to bring it down. I got to bring this in a bit, though. It's okay if there's some white showing, because there probably needs to be. Okay. That. Okay. This is something I wanted to do, and now I'm just doing it on the fly. So we'll see how this goes. I regretted cutting the last one. I didn't regret cutting the last one. I didn't regret the last one, and I don't want to regret this one. So we're going to go like that. Because I did a few where I just flipped it over, right? That goes there. Voila. What's that? Oh, I have this. I'm looking at the back of a piece of fabric. I'm going, what is that? And it's like, well, it's the back of a piece of fabric is what it is. It looked like, why is there, for a second there, I'm like, why is there track pants sitting there? You know how the back of the fabric, okay, I don't know if you know or not, but at a glance, some fabrics, this one here, looks a little bit like track pant material. It's just the back of a dark fabric, so the color bleeding through. Oh, yes and no. I kind of needed to pre-trim it so that I kind of needed to pre-trim it so that it would go where I wanted it to go, but it also means that I had to do a much finer, more carefully done scant 1/4 inch, which is not something I usually do. Okay, that goes there. Where are my scissors? There's a pair. I have got to clean up this place. It's a mess. Okay, now we're fafoing this. This is a fafo because I've got this is a fafo because A, it's cute and I've got plenty. That goes like that. Okay, that one goes there. Ooh. Iron just trying to turn itself off. Okay. Oh, you can go up there for now. Okay, so now that goes there, that goes there. Yeah, I kind of regretted pre-trimming it, but I also didn't. I kind of regretted it in a first world problem kind of way because I was just working with stuff I already had. Okay, so this is about 400 feet thick. I have to pin it, and I don't really have a choice because the machine's just not going to go through it if it's not. Okay, the machine will go through it, but it's, yeah, 2 layers. I'm going to have to go through really carefully. I'm going to have to go really carefully, and I'm pinning it down so that nothing shifts. Everything's cut oversized, and you'll see why in a second. Okay. that. I don't have to go super crazy, but I do have to make sure that nothing's going to move. I probably should be using a basting spray. Okay, so yeah, the reason why I kind of regretted, you ever say a thing and you just say a thing because it's automatic, you don't give, the reason why I kind of regretted is because of not, once I cut it, then I have to go in by a further 1/4 inch. If I don't cut it, if I mark it, instead of cutting it, I can sew exactly along the line. Okay, let's go over here. So this is super thick, just super fine. I'm going to leave my opening on the end here. Just back up by 1 stitch, 1 stitch. I'm really trying hard to, I'm going slow. I'm kind of pushing down as I go because it's not actually too bad. This is something I've been meaning to test for a long time anyway. Testing whether or not, testing how many layers. Any particular machine can only handle so many layers before it just does not catch properly, does not trim properly. And because I've marked it, I should get a, but I'm pushing down. I'm trying really hard to pay attention to the little tug, tug, tug to make sure that I'm letting it go through properly. I've also got my walking foot on, so that walking foot a walking foot automatically gives you a better chance at success if you're working with super thick layers. Because even when it's okay, if it's super thick layers of shit like leather, you got a completely different thing to worry about. But even super thick layers of stuff like this can be hard for some machines to get through without pulling and tugging and blah blah blah. This is not thick enough. I have to go to there. There we go. Ugh. Go, turn the corner. Go. Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. Now let's trim. Oh, let's get the pins out. Everything's already sewn down to where it needs to be. I've already done a few like this. I've already done a few like this for the quilt, for the ugly quilt. I just haven't done anything this thick. You'll see what I mean when I get it out. La la la, that piece I could definitely use again. That piece is not going to be big enough. Oh, that piece is going to be my pillow stuffing. Oh, pillow stuffing. Okay. Got to do a corner piece here. I guess even if I'm not saving it for anything else, those little pieces are going to get torn up into pillow stuffing. Trust me. I don't know if I'm going to turn this into a, I might turn this into a pillow. Let's see. Okay, my thinking, I have a feeling it's going to be, yeah, I'll have yeah, but I don't want to do a puff quilt, but if I do one piece that's super puffy, it might just be super cool to throw into a quilt. Mind you, that came, how did I get that piece? I bought it for some reason, but I knew then that it was too thick for a quilt. So I don't know. I can't remember what I bought it for. You know what I will say is, oh, that thicker stuff, if you're making a pillow and you put it on the same, if you're making a pillow with a quilted front, like, did I do it on this pillow? I think I did. Ah. If you use a layer of this type of batting as the front on behind, just behind the pillow, just behind the front here, the front here. So if you put it on and then you can just stitch in the ditch and do what you're going to do, and then you finish your pillow, you'll get a much nicer pillow, and your design won't shift and move and eventually break through, and you can quilt it straight to the batting. You can quilt your panel straight to your piece. You can quilt it straight to the batting. If you use a polyester batting, and then you make your pillow, then you have a nice front. You have a smoother front to your pillow, which is less bothered by bulky stuff. Let me see if let me just get this turned, and we'll see what we think. Here's the thing. Come on, get over here. Get out, get out, get out. Come on. Ooh, here we go. I've already done a few pieces like this. Yeah, that's what I do with all my pillows. I put down a layer of whatever I'm going to use, and I usually use diaper flannel, but anything that doesn't require, I don't use regular quilt batting. I use either this polyester or I use flannelette, and I quilt it down, because then all your quilting is going to be held in place. It's going to be fine. And then you make your pillow, and yeah, it just seems to, and you're not doing anything special. Okay, so that's how thick it is. So then, if I save it, I think I would iron this, but now if I do this, if I go here and then here, yeah, you can even see this right now, here and then here, then I've got 4 nice, super puffy little pieces, and then I can include them in with, I can include them because I'm just going to zigzag it all together. And then I have one super puffy piece that goes in. I think that would be awesome. But if it's not going to be awesome, I can finish stuffing it right now and turn it into a mini pillow. But I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to quilt it. I'm not going to quilt it. I'm going to top stitch it. Now what I have to do, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give a little bit of, so I'm just going to stitch this shut right here. I'm not going to touch anything else just yet. Or maybe I will. Because I'm just going to zig, because if I'm just going to zig, it's, yeah, let me just, I'm not zigzagging it onto anything just yet. And maybe I am going to go all the way around. I'll go all the way around, but this is just going to be a super puffy panel. Okay, this is exactly how I would do it if it was a pillow. It would just be wrestling with the stuffing that's in there too. Because it's supposed to be. That's what I did. I remember I dragged out the knit blanket and showed that off. And I've got pieces in that knit blanket that are a single layer of relatively thin, got a single layer of relatively thin yarn, and then where I've got 4 yarns together. Just gotta get all the way to the corner. One thing I got to be careful of, when it's this thick, it can kind of scoop in. Gotta be really careful and make sure you're pulling it out all the way down. This is going to be one of the, this is going to end up being a bit of a focal piece. I don't know if it's going to be a focal piece or not. Who knows what the heck it's going to be, but. And I don't mind, because what I do whenever I'm making an actual pillow, I go all the way around like this anyway, because that way I don't have to do the whip stitch at the end. I can just top stitch everything. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to see. This is the how puffy will this. This is the how puffy will this be challenge, because it might be a lot of fun to have 2 or 3. Well, if I like this, I'll put more into the quilt. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. I have to go slower than I like. I usually try to go a lot faster than this, but, well, not try to. I usually end up going a lot faster than this, but this is really thick, so definitely, it's doing really well, though. Whenever I've had to do extra thicknesses of other types of materials, the thicker it is, the more compressed it gets, and the harder it can be on the needle to go through it. There we go. I do. Okay. I'm kind of liking this effect so far. It's going to make a lovely patch. And don't worry, I'm not going to go so crazy on this fabric that I'm not going to have anything left over. What time is it now? It's just going on to 4:30 now, which is perfect. I got enough. I'm doing one more. I'm doing one more. It's super easy. I know it's got a name and I can't think of it, because if I could think of the name, Linda would know exactly what I was talking about. But and I think I'm going to stick with oranges and blacks. Okay, and then around the corner. Okay, so that part's this is done. Okay, so now it's all closed up. Okay, so it's all closed up. I have one more idea that I forgot. I don't know how I managed to forget to hit the thread cutter, but I did. I have one more idea that I want to work with today. So basically, this, I'm just going to go across here and down here, because I want to see just how puffy these look. If they end up not looking all that puffy, if that makes sense, I don't know how to describe it. We'll see. If it's not distinct and obvious, then it's probably not worth the extra work or wasting the extra batting, which is what I'm testing for right now. All the way across. That one's easy. Come on. I remembered to cut it this time. Come on, you can do it. There we go. That one. Then this one. Up there. Back. Now this has to go this way. I have to stop here though, because I have to go up like one. I have to go up like 2 stitches to get it to line up on this side. So none of these are the same size. Even these 4 are not, they don't line up. None of them do. Oh. There we go. So this one here, it's been this. So that is, yeah, I'm not sure if there's enough of a difference to be worth the extra work though, because that's nice and puffy. It's nice and puffy, but this one looks just as puffy. I'll show Lisa when she's home, and we'll see if she can tell the difference. It doesn't seem, to me, it does not seem all that significant of a difference. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's something I'm going to focus on. So the other one that I wanted to do, let me just get this put away. The other one that I want to do is actually really simple. I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that. I'm going to do it with, I'm going to do it on the, I'm going to do it on the bear. Basically, what I was thinking of is just taking something like this, right? And making a design of any kind. A design of any kind. So in this case, it's going to be, I got here. Where's my little guy? This is what I do. I put shit, I get shit out because I'm going to need that shit, so I better get it all out. And then I just forget where I put it. So I'm going to do, these are 2 inches. I'm going to do 1.5 inch squares. So basically, where you put, I put a square each. Let me just cut them. You'll know exactly what I mean. Yeah, I thought it'd be a lot puffier too. So I don't know that I don't know whether I want to put that kind of extra work into it. I kind of want a puff quilt, which would be really, really nice. But a few puff pieces and then, you know what? I can just do these as 2 by 2 because they're already really close. I'm gonna do 2 inches. Okay. 1. I don't know the, okay, I'm gonna lay it out right quick so you can see it, Linda. I just don't know what it's called, and I don't want to like, I already babble enough. So just give me a second and then I can just show you. Because my idea is really simple. I just go, I put like that, right? I use, and for the bears, I'll use, for the bears, I'll use the black. So black with the orange in the corners. And I just do that. I just build these out. Let me just get some more. Let me get some more stuff ready. So then I do that around all of them. And then when I'm ready to go, like, so I'll have them around the bigger one too. So this guy will have it as well, or maybe not. And then when I'm ready, I just line everything up, trim it all to the same size, and then they should fit together. And then their borders will vary depending on what I'm pairing it with. Does that make sense? This is the right size. So, oh man, I didn't even need to do what I was doing. Okay. I know there's better ways to do this, so I know my ruler just slipped too, so let's see. But I'm thinking, yeah, I thought it would be super puffy. I'm just double checking that comment over and over and over again. I don't know why. I'm weird. Anyway, so basically, this is really simple. So I'm just going to go around this guy. So it's going to be black. I'm just going to put them over top of each other because you'll be able to see the end result. Black, black. Obviously, there's cutting and there's cutting and stuff. So that's what this is the pattern. This is the design I'm talking about. I know it's got a name. I know there's you would usually have like an orange in the center as well, or something. So if I go around this with everything, so so I do this, then I do this, right? Then when it's time, yeah, right. So then I do that. Then I do that. Then when they're done, then I'm just going to come back, and it's like none of these are quite the right size, but that's fine because they're going to have a layer around the outside. And some of them can just be straight up one color. Some can be straight up one color. Some can be different colors. And I don't know whether I want to mix and match. But then, like, when I swing by, where's the bigger one? But like, I could even do that, right? I could do that. And then, so if I put all of these inside of a frame, then when the time comes, I am just going to, okay, I want all of these to be, so some of these, when they're done, are going to have a frame that's only like that big. And maybe I'll have to take off some of the top and the bottom, but you know what I mean? Now it'll look mixed. It'll definitely have a mix and match look to it. And I would pick one color, probably black, because I have tons of black. So I'd pick one color, and that would be my base color that goes between everything. May or may not pick different corner colors. And then as I go, because then I can just churn these out. I can just go. It would actually be fairly quick. Then once I'm ready, but yeah, some of these may only end up having like the bear one. Where's the bear one? Don't worry, I've got tons of the bear one. The big bear. I just set him down somewhere. Now I can't find it. But yeah, even this guy though, he fits. So I surround them all with something that fits. So at the end of the day, because this would be out a little bit. So at the end of the day, some of these are going to be bigger. Some of the borders are going to be bigger and smaller, but I could make an entire quilt top out of that. That's what I think I'm going to do. The only thing I have to do is, I think I'm going to use, I really like the bears a lot. If I have to do more of something and less of something else, I will probably do less of the deer, but the bear, this is about the same size. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. So it's easy enough to do. Yeah. But yeah, because then I can just, then when I'm trimming to make everything fit, because I don't want to trim I don't want to trim the actual, I do not want to trim these. I don't want to trim these. And if I do if I do some sort of a quilt as you go, I go over by almost half an inch. So I would be losing a bunch of these. I think this might be the best solution for all of it. And there's tons of different things you can do to go around this stuff. So I can just mix and match. I can do some of these, and then I can switch over and do something else. I can, like I said, I can do solids. I can do not solids. Now I have to remember, or I may have to go look up. Okay, the first one is easy. The first piece is easy. I'm doing this all backwards. Don't yell at me, Linda. I don't have a lot of experience doing this particular design. So I'm going to do it an experienced quilter, which I am not, is going to go, okay, you need to have a 2.5 inch piece and a 1.5 inch piece, and you need to do this and you need to do that. I'm going to faffle the first one. I'm going to faffle this one, just to make sure that I'm doing it right. Okay, I'm going to faffle this one because I know how to get the right effect. Did I say that right? I said it well enough. I know how to faffle it to get the effect I'm looking for. So I'm going to faffle it for the effect, and then I will pay attention to proper measurements and do it the right way. Yeah. Well, I just noticed there's anybody else who's looking for ideas. But yeah, I'm just gonna. This one's very uneven and fraying, so I'm going to. I'm gonna get my fat ruler out. The fat ruler is already wide enough. That's like I can get a much better square off of that. I don't mind if a little bit of the white shows through. That's that's not going to hurt anything. But I definitely want to make sure if I'm going to take the time to do this, I want to make sure I get a proper square. So So if I remember right, I could probably do the measurement. I could probably do it properly now. I could probably do it the right way now, but I'm still too lazy. So the first piece is easy. The first piece just goes on because you got to put on just one color. Second, third, yeah. Okay, we'll do that. We'll get our first color on. Still just use, oh shit, no I'm not. I'm still just using the same gray, but the bobbin's almost empty. That's what I made that noise about when I was like, because it was like the bobbin is just about out and I wasn't paying attention to the bobbin. So I was like, oh my God, I got so lucky that I got to the end of the bobbin and didn't wreck anything. What color do I want? Do I want to switch colors or do I want to just keep going? I got to use it. I got white to use up. So I'm going to use white right now. Get that. Thanks. I just wish I could have. I know you know what it is that I'm doing. Does it have a name, or am I just like on crack or something? Because I thought doing that particular thing had a name. That particular design going around the outside. I thought that had a name. It's like, welcome to my sewing channel where I make Linda answer all my freaking questions so that I can sound good. I kind of have a lot of fun being self-taught. There's a lot about it that's fun for me. Okay, there's a lot about it that's fun for me because I get to use up. Yeah, frame. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've heard it referred to as a. I thought it had a specific name, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, framing it and making a bit of a design out of it at whatever stage makes sense is what I want to do. I don't know where I'm going to land on trimming everything first and yada, yada, yada. In theory, I should be ironing, but what do we care? Oh, let's trim that first. Where's my other ruler? There's my little guy. Get the little guy up here. No, when you actually know what you're doing or when you have very clear measurements, you're supposed to, Linda. That's your job. Hey, everybody, I'm picking on Linda today. Okay, so this is actually, I need two pieces where this is already sewn on. The next two. Now, I never expect. I never expect anybody to know all the answers. If they happen to know the answers, that's awesome, though. Okay, so that goes on. I'm not trying too hard. I'm not trying too hard to line up my corners just yet because it's still at the FAFO stage. So I should be trying harder, but I should be trying harder, but I just want to get it done because once I just get it done, I can review the sizes and see what I think of everything. Come on, I'm pretty sure I got this one pretty good. Let's see. Okay, that one comes off. Oh, the hard. I got my corner though. Like that never happens. I know I've seen better ways to do it. And honestly, I should have like looked up one of the better ways before I even sat down today. It's like, I want to make sure that I give myself some time to do this. Because I didn't even need to cut this. I could have just sewn it to a bunch of stuff but that's okay. I'll do it. I'll look up if I like I think I'm going to like the effect. I'm already liking it. I'm not even done yet. As long as I like the effect, I'm very, very likely going to go do a couple of lookups for the easiest way. And then go from there. So that is, my problem too is that, yeah, look at that, eh? Look how sharp that is. I never get, my corners are never that sharp, so I'm super happy now. Here's the part, the next part. This is where I'm going to regret not having measured things properly, because the last one, you have to put the top and the bottom on and then go from there. Okay, that one's fine, that one's fine. That one's fine. The opposite on, and then cut the other to the same size as the block, have the squares on each end of the strip. That's the other way. Oh my God, that corner, look at that. 2 in a row. 2 in a row, guys. 2 corners in a row where they're supposed to be. Okay, the universe loves me because that never happens. That never happens for me. Okay. Now here's the dangerous part. But you know what I also did to screw myself up and I made my life more difficult on purpose. Not on purpose, because I made my life more difficult because this piece has to be cut at the right length, so that this piece has to be cut at the right length so that that and that line up with that. So now I have to double check how wide my seam allowance is. Quarter inch. It's proper quarter inch, so that's not bad. So I need to do this black piece needs to be dark. This black piece needs to be, I'm gonna go this way. Oh, sorry, I'm flipping my ruler because it's got solid lines going in one direction, but the other direction is just the little hash marks that I have to go by, and I'm just flipping it so that I'm going by the solid lines. I'll get a better cut the strip off the original block and then add the 2 squares. Okay, I think I know what you mean. I have to measure this. I have to measure this first. This is 5 1/4 inches. So this needs to be 5 1/4 inches. Let's take it that way. Oh, that's not straight. Okay. Let's get me a straight line. Yeah, so I got to cut the strip the size of the original block. Which I did when I turned it over. And then I have to add 1 to each end. Let's see. Let's see. This is going to be the trial by fire. This is the piece that I have the problems with, because if one of the I've got 2 corners so far, but if I don't do this right, I never do. So I'm just like amazed that my corners are so good already. Okay, so that one's done. Then I flip it to the other end, put that one on. See, this is where my lack of skill shows. Because I can do that, but once a certain level of precision is required, then it's like, trial by fire. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Okay, so I'm just gonna push that one open, push that one open. Yeah, no, I pushed these 2 closed so that I can line up my stuff properly. Okay, well, I'm already a little off, which is fine. Okay, let's get over here. Let's see. Cross your fingers, kids. Let's see how this lines up. When in doubt, pin it. Or if you're completely, I will tell you right now, I am so grateful, absolutely grateful for all of the powers in the universe that give me enough fabric left over from other projects that I can do this. I don't know how I'd feel if I was I don't know how I would feel if I was paying by the yard to find out whether or not I can do this, if that makes sense. But I will say, anybody who's thinking about learning, now's a good time because everybody with all that everybody that had all that COVID fabric, which I don't blame anybody. A lot of people during COVID were making money selling masks. So anybody that was doing that is still trying to get rid of their stashes, which means that they're doing some great deals out there with some really good fabrics. Okay. Crossing fingers, crossing fingers. Okay, I'm super happy. This one's off a little bit, which is not enough to matter. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. That one's perfect. That one's perfect. That one's perfect. And that one's off within a range that I can be happy with. Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy. I'm a happy. So I do that. I'm not going to finish this one just yet because maybe I should. Maybe I should finish this one into a quilt as you go piece. I'm sorry. Maybe I should finish this one for the other one. This is what I'm thinking about doing. Yes, and that was. Yes, Jenny is thanking you on my behalf. I was so distracted, like, but no, that was a great tip because that actually helped. Because as soon as you said it, I'm like, at first I'm like, what does she mean? Because it's hard to translate sometimes. And I was like, oh, because then when I flipped it over, it's like if I measure from here to here, I should get very, very close. And I'm very okay. You guys have seen some of my points. So this is really good. That was an excellent tip. That definitely made a huge difference. Generally speaking, what people do is they'll have their measurements up front. And like Linda said, do the top and the bottom first, then do these two sides. I'm kind of glad I didn't because it let me cheat on the first two corners. So I only had to agonize about lining up the second two corners. So that was a bit of a thing. But this kind of cuts in. Huh. Something wasn't straight to begin with. Hey, that means I can absolve myself of all responsibility. Yeah, you can see that. There's a bit of an angle thing happening. I wonder what I did. Oh, I probably just was careless. It was probably a careless cut. Anyway, yeah, so now when I get this one, which I already know that this one's small. Oh, this is kind of close to this. No, this is not the same size. Look how far it goes over, right? When I do this one, I can do the exact same thing around this one. And then when it's time, I just make sure they're both the same size. Yeah, I came up with the same results. So yeah, no. Yeah, you had good advice because I think what I need to do, I think what's going to work best for me is if I do take that advice and I do the sides, because what you do, just for Jenny, so she knows, is like what you do is you start with a piece of fabric and you cut it to size, right? Like that. And then you put one piece on this side, you put the other piece on this side, right? Then you sew that, and you basically do that like this, and then you just have to cut it, and it's ready to go. So as much as I like doing the other two, as much as I like doing the first three sides the lazy way, that's probably going to be the best way because then I can do a bunch and just be ready to go with it all. Because what I'll do is I'll pull over, like I'll do these guys first, then I'm not going to do one of these, then These are all, of course, they're all the same. I'm not going to do this, then those. I'll pull out a stack of each and then do them that way. So yeah, I think that's, yeah. So Linda, okay, let me back up. Linda's way is the better way. My way is the lazy way. But like I said, like that, like my way is the cheater way to get the first two corners to get a better chance at getting better corners in the first two. But I still have to do this anyway. Just not sure. Oh, that's what I did. The fabric is just a little, look, it's straight now. It's nice and straight now. I just gotta tug it in. Yeah. No, I think this is what I'm gonna do. And I just now the only thing I have to decide now is what time is it now? It's almost 5, so Lisa will be home in a second anyway. The only thing I have to do now is sort out whether I want to stick with a color theme. Do I want to stick with a color theme for these corners? Or do I want to just mix and match and do it, stick with one color for these wider pieces and then just do whatever, okay, whatever piece I do, the four corners will be the same. But do I want the four corners to be the same on everything? Because when I'm using pieces this small, when the pieces are when the pieces are this small, like I could probably do most of a quilt or at least a lap size blanket with black and orange. I could probably do black and orange for most of a quilt just with this alone. Because this is when you only need little tiny pieces of orange. I think maybe that's what I'm gonna do. Or she just left work. It's 5 o'clock. You're not home yet? Well, shit, babe. If you just left work, come and get me. We'll go get a cold drink. Go get the vet stuff. Come back, stab the dog. Anyway, yeah, now I got to think about things. Are you at or near a camera? Were you at or near a camera to see this? She's in the car now, so were you at or near a camera to see this most recent block I just did? This one looks really awesome, though. It just made everything pop. I vote for fun corner colors, switching up colors that complement the centers. I think I might do that. Jenny says I made perfect corners, and I did. The one that's off a little bit is still it's still very much within the range of what you can expect. And with this being as stretchy as it is and stuff like that, that's probably where I made that's probably had something to do with it. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. No, okay, I already decided this is what I'm going to do. I think I maybe mix and match sounds like fun because then I can just start going through my stash and grab everything. But the only thing I have to do, like I said, I'll have to do it by section. I'll have to break down everything to go, okay, these guys are all going to be this. And then when I'm done, I just have to make sure that I can square it up. So this one here, when this one here goes in, see, it's going to be cut that way, right? Like it's hard to say. It's hard to say what I mean, but when this one here is done, it's going to have narrower top, narrower bottom, wider sides, right? And then when the bear goes in, the bear's going to go on and be fairly square. These would obviously be smaller squares down here in each corner, right? When the bear goes in, it's going to be fine, but in order for it to in order for it to be the same size as that, it's going to have really narrow. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Oh, I probably should have done the bear first. Whatever I make has to match. Whatever I make has to fit according to what I need for the biggest one. Then again, I don't have to use. I can do that. I can just have the bear in just black. You know what I'm doing? I'm looking at how tiny this corner would have to be. Because that would all be black. So that's good. That would be the bottom corner. I'm looking at how tiny that corner is. Like, can I sew that small of a piece and not fuck it up? I guess I'll find out. Then again, there's another. Oh, there's another thing I can do. Oh, 3-minute warning. Okay, I've got 3 minutes. There's another thing I can do where I can literally like just put a small patch here and then the rest is solid. kind of reverse. Yeah, I'll have to be very careful with the small pieces. So I gotta go meet Lisa. So I've only got a minute. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one more later on tonight with just this size and see how I feel about working with the small pieces. But then again, I don't have to have every single piece of the bear and of this big bear in there either. So I'll figure it out. So I may want to upscale everything, which might mean this gets like a much bigger border, but we'll find out. But anyway, yeah, just Jenny, make me leave, make me go away, because apparently I'll just stand here forever. I'm gonna go run and go meet the wife, and I will see you guys later. So thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.